well, Tony, matches against your former clubs just come thick and fast. And Stoke City, many happy years there?
Yeah, I had a fantastic 10 years at Stoke altogether. I've got great respect for my ex-chairman and his family. Peter, Deirdre, John, Denise have put so much into that football club. They're local people who invested enormous amounts of money. And they're good people as well. They're really, really good people. They've remained good friends, not just of me personally, but my family. And always look for their results. And it wasn't just about the football club. I think when you spend that much time in a community, you get to know people around the area as well. And I've got some very, very fond memories of the area, the people, and the football club.
And although you as an individual move on with your career, I mean, did it still come as a bit of a shock when a team that never really looked like it was going to get relegated suddenly found itself in the Championship?
Well, I think if you take your eye off the ball, or if you if you make mistakes along the way, the Premiership is punishing. And what happened that season there, I'm not so sure, but when I was there and we were working, I honestly thought that the basis of the squad, the basis of the group, that club would only go from strength to strength.
You obviously had a terrific, important win in the League Cup, and a lot made of the likes of young Lewis Wing, Marcus Tavernier, and you pointed out with Lewis that he's still got a lot to learn with his game. But does it excite you that you've got youngsters sort of really pressing hard to stake a claim for more game time? No,
it's fantastic. I think Lewis got a lot of the credit with his goal and the way he played, and that's deserved. I actually personally thought Tav, for what he did during the game within the way we played, was absolutely fantastic. And maybe he never got the credit that he deserved. But they're two young players that have got great futures. They've got to keep their feet on the ground. They've got to make sure that they understand that they're playing within a group, and they are part of the group. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and get regular places. So yeah, the important thing is they just don't get carried away with it, and they need to dip their toes in, realise what it's all about, and make sure that when they get their chances, they take them like they did the other night.
And even though the current Championship starting 11 and the League Cup starting 11 is quite different, what sort of buzz has reaching that quarter-final done for the whole camp, the whole squad?
Well, I think if you look at if you look before the game, the players who weren't playing, to a man, they were all there watching the game. If you look at it after the game, when Sam McQueen got injured, to a man, everybody went in to see Sam. When we trained on Thursday, the group that had played, we didn't do a lot with them. The ones who didn't play, we kept them out a little bit longer. And the people who had played the night before, who were allowed to go in early, stayed out and watched them train. So the togetherness, I know it's a different group, team, but it's the same group, and it's a good group, and it's a strong group. And we'll need that. We've got suspensions coming up. We've got injuries now to 3 or 4 players. So, we need that group, and that group needs to be as one. And if we do get injuries, we want those players to step in and do the best they possibly can, and they've done that so far.
You've talked on more than one occasion, including in midweek, about creating more opportunities. When you do create opportunities, being more clinical. What sort of can you do on the training ground just to try and kind of sharpen up, get that cutting edge going a bit better? Well,
I think we've been doing it. I think we've spent enough time, and again on Wednesday night, I thought first half, Martin's, the opportunity that drops to Martin early on in the game. Jordan had 2 great opportunities. Tav had 2 great opportunities himself to score. There was really, really good opportunities. And if we turn those opportunities into chances, we've got to be more clinical. That's the bottom line. And that's what I want. I want that top end of the pitch to be more clinical. And the only way you do it is keep working hard and keep giving them and the opportunities and the chances to take. And that's what we've got to keep doing.
And finally, from me, if I could just go back where I started to Stoke City. just signs that they might be starting to find their feet? It's never easy to adjust to a new division, but a little bit better of late.
Yeah, they've spent a decent amount of. Gary's gone in there and spent a decent amount of money. He knows the league. You know, he's had years at Birmingham and Derby to understand what the league's like, so he'll know what it takes. So yeah, you know, the league is so competitive, and there's so many teams in there that you know, could end up in that top half. That you know, nobody has the right, nobody has the audacity, I think, within that league to think that they're better than the other teams. It's that type of league.
Tony, when you look at the way Stoke started the season, were you a little bit surprised that they didn't hit the ground running from the off?
No, not really. I think this club suffered the same experience the year before. I think other clubs do as well. You know, it's relentless. You know, next week I think it's the first free week we've had for months. You know, you're playing 3 games a week. It's difficult. It's a more challenging, draining experience because of the games. So, you know, players have to get used to it. The management team have to get used to it. Everybody has to get used to it.
You obviously had a number of years at Stoke. Have you talked through your players, you know, what to expect at the stadium, because it's known for having, you know, that real sort of tribal atmosphere?
It was the Britannia Stadium when I was there. It's now the Bet365 Stadium, and it's been closed in. One corner has been closed in, so it's a little bit different to when I was there. But no, it's a fabulous stadium, fabulous support, and when they get behind you, they really do get behind you. So we're hoping that we can quieten them down a little bit on Saturday.
I was going to say, it's a tough place for an away team to go. You know, you'll need big characters and the lads to stand up and be counted.
Yeah, and you know, like I say, we'll most probably have there'll be a few changes as well because of injuries and suspension. So the ones we call on, you know, we hope they go out there and give it their best.
On the injury front, who was missing? You know, have you got any new injury concerns?
Well, like I said, with the bug that we had, the doc's got a couple in a little bit earlier today to have a look to see how they are. We'll go through that, and then we'll pick the team from there.
Sam McQueen, how is he? I know you said obviously.
No, Sam's news is not very good. I think he's done his cruciate knee, so I don't think we're going to have Sam available for a long time. I think the doc is talking to the medical people at Southampton now, and they'll decide whether Sam stays up here to recover or whether he goes back to his mother club.